it really does come down to belief with all things, right? I have taught so many times and studied so much on what we believe creates our reality, right? We can be given any certain set of data, information, and how we react is based on our own perception and our own beliefs, and that's what creates what happens next to us. Okay, so then we have programs and triggers and things we need to go through and blah blah blah. Okay, so there's all of that. Okay, right now there's so many beliefs colliding, right? So with a lot of the world events now, and I'm not going to talk about those, I have a knowing. I don't have a doubt. I know what's going on a certain level because of, yes, channeled information, people that I know that have experienced things firsthand, a lot of study, a lot of stuff. So for me, I know. I don't know for you. You have to check your heart. But it's interesting. I studied and was really excited about the Tartaria stuff, right? And what I like about it is I like the crystal buildings. I like the idea of free energy because it's everywhere. And I love the buildings. I love the supernatural of it. Okay, so then you go down rabbit holes and you study a bunch of stuff, and then someone says, oh, or people change, right? The experts in it. Then you shift to another reality, and they're like, no, Tartaria doesn't exist. There was never a land of that. Well, that's just one example, right? There's thousands of these. It doesn't really matter what exists and what doesn't exist. There's no truth, right? There's a whole bunch of parallel realities. So it is about what you believe, and how do you know what you believe? Like in something like that, and I go, well, what is true for me, it doesn't fucking matter what's true, because there is no truth, right? There's perception, and it's all subjective, and we're a hologram, and there's realities change, and all the blah blah blah. So to cut through all the seeming madness, what do I believe? Okay, so in this instance, it switches to what do I prefer to believe? What feels fun? Well, it feels fun that there's like, I don't even remember, 100,000 square feet of glass in the Crystal Palace, I don't know if I say it right, Britain, the UK, England, whatever. You'd think I would get that all correctly by now, but I love knowing that a building like that existed. It exists, and there's like some sort of a waterway running through it, and shops of sorts and statues and people sitting around visiting and having tea and I love the idea of it. And so then that's what becomes real to you as you bring into focus, and you drop beliefs, you drop programs, and we continue to do that because we gather more and we're working through our DNA and whatever. But what do you prefer? Like, which belief feels better? It never existed, that never happened. Or yes, this existed and can exist and it's beautiful and wonderful. Which feels better to you? And that's what it comes down to, okay? Like, I've talked about this before, but I see things in my dream time so clear. And over the last 6 weeks, I've had zillions of dreams. I remember them all. I know the people. I can go back into these places and things I experienced, unbelievable. And so my dream time is not only rich right now, but I'm doing so many things and I'm working things out, and it's carrying over. Right? And so what you hold on to as true here and now, you take into the dream time, right? Are you a victim, or is it your dream and you're the creator and you send the demons out of your dream? Are you following your highest passion in your dream and you're seeing and experiencing new things? And then rejection or abandonment or things that happen in the dream, and you wake up, you bring that into this reality. So then you go, well, no, what must I have to believe to feel that, even if I brought it from dream time? And then you examine that belief and examine, well, which way do you prefer? Do you prefer having followed your highest excitement and then it leading to someone else? Or do you prefer in the dream staying safely at the home with the people that don't want to change? It's just vague, but that's kind of the dream that I had tonight. And my schedule's all over the map. Like now, I mean, what time is it? 3 a.m. Like, I've been waking up at about 2:30 a.m. and then I just stay up. And so then I love sleeping all day, and it's so miraculous to me now because I haven't been able to sleep for a month to be able to sleep. And I mean, I was sleeping during that month, but I wasn't eating. I wasn't hungry. My body, I went out running. I wasn't feeling it in my body. But the demonic things in my dreams, the things that would come after me over and over in my dreams, and they weren't killing me in my dreams. They were trapping me. And I escaped over and over and over and over, and just this fear and panic. And then all of a sudden in this version of reality, this waking reality, I said, no, this is my dream. I'm in charge. And each time I go into the dream, they'd be hiding in the same places or be kind of the same situation. So I decided that I was going to say no, that I was going to, take them out before they could get me. And I was going to get out of the place. So I came to a realization and strength in my waking time that I then took into my dream. So then, for example, like this one guy, like he's waiting to not let me escape, to leave this house over and over. And there's a bunch of us and the dream over and over. And so I knew where he was going to be. And I decided that I was just going to, take him out. I knew where he was hiding. And so then I could see his feet into the door, same thing, like his same script or play of energy. And then when he stepped out, I don't remember if he ended up getting taken away or what happened, but I just kind of stood up and said no, or I fought back. And another example, well, before I got that strength, I was running. I was afraid they were going to get me. I'd like escape, and then I'd climb this. I remember climbing this fence, like a chain link fence, and barely just getting over it, just to get over it. And as soon as I got over and landed on the road, then I'd wake up. And then another one, I keep going into the dream. And so it's the same house, in the same kind of situation. And then it was this picnic table and kind of this grass and stuff, and the inmates or whatever, the people that they had us trapped there. I don't know, there was probably like 7 of us or something or more. I said, some guy had a rifle or whatever. And I came to terms in this reality with, no, I own my dream time. It's my dream time. I have the strength. And they can't hurt me. And if I die, I die. So what? Whatever. And standing up to them. And so I carried that strength over. So this example out in the yard of the picnic table, the guy's like telling me I have to do this and I have to do that. And I just stood up and I just yelled and said, no, this is my dream. Get out of my dream. You do not get to tell me what to do in my dream. And the power was gone. Their power over me was gone. Now, this happened over weeks, and then I'd have these like funhouse, weird, demon, creepy things like coming in, all the just things, until I got control of it. And so now I'm kind of past that month and a lot of that, and I'll talk some more about that another time. But I go so many places. I visit places. I do things in my dream, and now I'm like being more wake up, because I'm remembering my dreams. I've never done this in my life, right? Just remembering all of them for weeks and weeks and days, just tons of. And so I'm going back into the dream and I'm going, okay, well, what would be a higher consciousness way? And why am I wake up emotionally upset about certain things that happen in there, and bringing in false programs and bringing in weird things? What old energy was I reenacting out my dream? And then go in and then change it. See what was lively and fun and expansive, and what was like, oh, because other people didn't want to do it, I'm like, oh, okay, well, we'll just do this. And going in and changing that and realizing what's expansive and fun and lively and what's not, and coming to that terms clearly in this version of reality we call the waking time, and taking it into the dream time, so that your consciousness and your subconsciousness both are strong in what you really believe, and you're not being taken over by things that want to control you and make you think that they own you. Like you're in dream time, right? You're immortal there, right? There's nothing they can do. It's your dream. It's your space. You can't die. So finding the conviction in your conscious mind and training your subconscious to say, no, you're not in charge. You don't get to be in charge of me. You don't get to be in my dream doing things to me that I don't like. Just to forget. What was that? I don't know. Anyway, I just wanted to say that because the belief, so if you want to believe the world is scary and everything's bad that's going well, or if you want to believe that God has already won, this is the cleanup, it's beautiful, the narrative that the masses have on both sides is so delusional, right, from what I know to be true. But at this point, there's nothing to share, really. There's nobody to awaken. They're all, like that, they're going to have to see it for themselves. And that's where we're at right now, because the hypnosis, the delusion is so deep. But it's so important to single yourself out from the masses in any way, whether it be the latest food product, the latest news, the latest fashion, and say, what do I like? What do I prefer? Not, do I want to fit in? Do I want to be okay? That's what I was doing in the dream time, right? I want to be okay. I don't want to be hurt. I don't want others to be hurt. So I just stayed trapped in these houses or on these compounds or whatever until I came to terms in this reality with no. And then I brought that into the dream time. Anyway, there's a lot more to it, but there's that. So what do you believe? Check your heart, what you feel, not you're emotionally. Someone can show you a movie of anything, and yeah, we get emotional. I cry sometimes. I've cried at commercials. I mean, some things are very emotional. That doesn't mean that they're true. Okay, you just experience the emotion, you enjoy it, you process it. You don't really know that it's happening the way any side of anything's telling you it's happening. Okay, unless you're in the know, that you know people that know things firsthand. I'm just going to leave it at that. So know your own mind, your own belief. Don't follow any new whim of anything. Discern, think for yourself. Know you, because it does create reality and worlds. How you look at the world and what your lens of filter of perception is how you experience the world. And we move more and more towards purifying that with our lens of perception. And also on that, we're practicing. So we're practicing here, we're practicing in dream time, so that we can get rid of all those triggers and programs and things so that we can manifest reality. So using your thoughts to manifest the reality you want, we can't be trusted to do that yet because we have too many other people's thoughts, programs, demonic, dark things that we're filtering through. And when we get to that level that we can create and purely manifest where the darkness doesn't have a voice or strength over us anymore, then we can be trusted to instantly manifest. Anyway, things like that. All right. Well, I love you guys. Bye for now. No, seriously.